Welcome back to the CTV News. Several St. Lucians this week benefited from the services of a team of Ocularists out of Canada. The services of the specialists in prosthetic eyes formed part of the Kids Inside program in this cycle. The team first visited St. Lucia in February and removed the eyes of selected patients for artificial fittings. Anthony Averill is the executive director of the Blind Welfare Association.
As we used to send, or have sent a number of children up to West Virginia to be fitted, because we do not have ocularists in the East Caribbean. There are a couple of them in the Caribbean. You don't have too many of them. And it is a very expensive exercise. It is easier to bring down the technical people so that they can do it here. Of course, to do that, they have had to carry equipment and what have you in order to make it happen. Most of the people who receive the services this week, that is the service of the ocularists, it's absolutely free, a number of children and some adults. Now we're talking about, if you have to pay for these things, we're talking about thousands of US dollars, not only to pay for the time and skills of the technicians, but travel to the United States, the accommodation while you are there, and other costs. So it's a wonderful service being given to St. Lucia through the Kids Inside program and indeed through the efforts of the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association with the support of other institutions and groups like the Lions Clubs and indeed the Ministry of Health. Without their support, we would not have been able to do this.
And the team hopes that the patients would live a happier and fuller life.
Where you have a damaged eye or the eye gets removed, we basically try to restore the cosmesis of the individual so they look as symmetrical and as normal as possible, so that it improves their self-esteem as well as their health. We make a different product here than we would back home just because there is no permanent ocularist here. So we are facilitating a role in the fact that instead of having eyes that are basically made for general shapes, we're actually making custom eyes here, which is something that St. Lucia doesn't really have. We make these products with a plastic called polymethyl methacrylate, which is basically denture plastic. So it's completely safe for the body, and it has no incidence of allergic reaction. So it's very, very good for people. We actually get certified with an organization called the American Society of Ocularists. They're the only education for this in the world, and they have studied this plastic cold. So they know that as long as we're doing our job and we meet our standards, that we're always going to make a good product that won't irritate the patient. We are facilitating about 20-25 patients. Roughly, we see I would say about half of that in our normal practices back home.